Today is April 9th. Need to approve the minutes from Tuesday, March 26th. Everyone had a chance to look at them? Any corrections, additions? Make a motion to approve.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
So I have not heard anything from Berkshire Gas. They have been silent.
Did you have any luck, Curtis?
You're muted, David. You're muted.
Sorry about that. Sally and I both tried independently to find a phone number for the contact name at Berkshire Gas, and we weren't able to do that. So I think where we left it is I suggested that the commission get a hold of the gentleman that came in a few months ago to speak on behalf of Osterman and try to figure out who can end up presenting themselves in front of the commission to try to resolve this.
Have his name in the minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And if you have that contact name and number, I'm happy to do some of the legwork for the commission.
Okay, I'll dig it out.
Michael Valenti.
We are awaiting a stormwater permit from them. Have not gotten it yet.
Continued. Public hearing for 104 Interlaken
Wait,
Road.
we still got,
Six Maple?
Oh, you did change it.
I did. I said it. There are changes at the top. We have two.
Well, the top, but that's, all right, never mind. 6 Maple Lane.
Judy Roberts was going to try to attend via,
There was a Judy up there.
was there?
Judy,
She's not there now. She had to get her husband's laptop in order to attend via Zoom. So she may come in when she can do that. But in the meantime, the Prado Delano folks are here, so we could talk to them.
all right. The sheep pasture on Rattlesnake Mountain Road.
Yes.
They're your sheep?
There are sheep.
Okay, we have some questions on the boundaries of your pasture or where your pasture is gonna end up. There are wetlands in the area and, we can't, well, until we know where they are, we're not gonna permit more clearing. Okay, it's what you got for the sheep now should be just fine, I guess. But are you gonna go into the woods to clear more land or?
No, necessarily, no.
The woods in the back by along. the
Well, we're just
highway?
talking about cutting down trees and opening up the forest. If there's any forest.
No,
No, we don't have plans to do that. We're just clearing out the invasive buckthorn that's along the side,
Okay.
but not doing anything in the back that runs along the highway.
Do you know where your boundaries are? Do
Yes.
you have them
Yeah.
marked?
yeah,
Yes,
we
we did a survey.
I am recused on this, just,
Neighbor. Any interest in going and take a quick look at the boundaries?
Okay.
It's right across from Sally's house. I don't know if there's a number or not.
We don't have a number yet.
In that field, kind of.
Mhm.
The only sheep on the road.
Okay, that should be a good clue. For you to see.
it may not be the brightest sheep in the world. Yeah, I had an old friend stop at the house one night and said, one of those sheep has a bucket on its head.
That seems to be happening more and more with,
And a couple
No,
Saturdays
a lot of the
ago, they were wandering around and one of them was out in the road. When I get back, the guy talked with you on the phone.
Yes.
Okay,
So just question, so there would be agricultural, no, if it's new agriculture, there wouldn't be exceptions, right? But
That
for-
would
for
be-
removing invasives.
That would be something that I'm not sure about because that property was a farm when I was a kid
But that was more than,
and it's been mowed
yeah.
ever since.
But
I'm
has
not
it
sure
been
what the
active
status,
agriculture?
no, I'm not sure what the status is if it's been mowed and kept in.
I think it has to be active
Yeah.
agriculture. But, and how are you removing the buckthorn? How are you gonna get it out of there?
You cutting and pulling or just, yeah?
I think we're gonna burn some of it,
Yeah, if you burn right on top of the stump, you got a chance of killing the stump.
Right.
yeah, we're gonna burn, hopefully before the May first,
Mhm.
the majority, but there's still more to, on that side to take that.
Yeah.
Is there anything there that we could see for perimeter markers or,
Yeah, the stakes are all up that we had when we had the survey company come out to come and mark the property boundaries. They're all still up.
I don't have any problem with the sheep being there. I just want to kind of see what the boundaries are in that area.
Yeah, it's all marked, I make some, copies.
Do you have a map even?
Yes.
Oh, that's even better.
So this is, all these are stakes, Mark. So this is rattlesnake. I can share.
This is your property right here?
This is our property.
On that,
So basically, this is rattlesnake.
Yeah.
This is where the sheep is. This is the open area about to about here. The rest is the forest.
Where's the buckthorn?
The buckthorn is all along here and all along here. All this area has a mix, especially along the, so this is the field, the open field. And there's a lot of saplings already in the fields that we're hoping that when we keep mowing it regularly, we will stop the buckthorn from creeping in the pasture. But the idea is that, we initially did this heavily because it was all basically buckthorn. And then there's more to do here, but that's like on the edge of the field.
building in there?
That's that's what we would like to do. This is a preliminary concept. It's a proposed, do you see that 2 squares there? That we would ideally have a barn there and eventually a house, but we don't know when the house can happen. But the barn is what we need, the farm store, what we need for the sheep.
This is wetland here?
And so this is the wetland, this is more wetlands, I guess. All this is wetland. But there is a little stream here. So the barn where we wanna, this is the only area that we could build, but because of being close, like the road is, the utilities, it would be more suitable to build something here.
Yeah.
But it's kind of in this buffer zone of this little, I don't know what is this considered intermittent?
Is it-
Right now, it's like, it's been raining a lot, but there's not even a good
Dry.
river bed or anything. It's just like dirt.
Yeah.
And it has to spread out from the, from the little,
Runs through.
yeah, there's a cover that comes from the road. And then this is an old farmer's pond that the dam has collapsed. It's not even full.
Yeah.
It's grown,
Yep.
but there's a pipe and it looks like the farmer that was, I don't know back when,
Long time ago.
yeah,
Cattle.
had done this pond, that it's basically abandoned. There's grown trees in there. But that's why the surveyors, the engineers mark this as in the buffer zone. But this corner is kind of outside of buffer zone, but if you keep going down this line, then the barn will be in the buffer zone, on the outer edge of the buffer zone, basically.
Are you putting in any roads or anything like that over the,
It would be just the entrance here, and we have a right of way between these 2 properties. It's on their property, on this neighbor's property, that we would have to open to access to the backside, because right now there's no access from here to the backside of the and this is important for us because there's where the majority of the pasture that we want to bring back is that we would need that access. Probably put a run in or something like that for the sheep to go, to go in.
So how close are you thinking the sheep will be to this wetland?
This is about here is where this is forest. Basically, this is in the forest.
The wetland is.
Yeah, the one that is in the forest.
So the sheep would never,
The sheep will never go in the forest, basically. We're planning on fencing all this in. And the sheep will go here. And then we have other satellite pastures that we use.
Yep.
It's important for us to have like the homestead for the sheep, where in the winter we can have the barn.
Yep.
We can have the wool processing part of the business and the store, and that's why, and have a space for lambing and all that. But we have them right now in Namkek.
Yep.
And hopefully we can find other pastures in the area that we can possibly bring them in the growing season for them to graze. I think, but yeah, all this is marked with the state recently from the survey, from the company that did the survey. You can see it from the.
You're here tonight just on the invasives, not on anything.
No, we're here mainly on if we can actually build on the barn and the invasives, I guess. I wasn't.
That's okay. I'm okay with your pastures. And
Yes.
cutting down the buckthorn and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But this, we may need to see staked out.
Okay.
All right. I don't know if you're ready for that or if, okay.
The idea is because the frontage is, we have the minimum frontage, which is 170,
Yeah.
So, or barn and any buildings that we put there is gonna be more long than.
Why don't we postpone any site visit till they get a little farther along
So we
in
can
this
see where
process?
the
And we
barn's
do it
gonna
one
be.
time instead of.
But
Okay,
I
so-
want to get the invasives out.
So yeah, so we actually recently removed up to about here, but there's more to do on this side. So we can have the setbacks from the property line and have enough space for the narrow barn and buildings.
So they do want to get the invasives out now.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what we,
They're easier to pull, whatever, where the ground's soft and wet like this too. If you're gonna pull them, something with a thumb, you just grab them, pop them.
yeah,
Mhm.
If you just cut them off, they're just gonna keep.
right.
Yes, I've been reading about getting rid of it.
Yeah, not fun.
All right,
They're
so.
gonna need an RDA at least eventually. You're gonna need a request for determination of applicability
The barn.
ultimately for the barn.
For the barn, yes.
So right now, you're not ready for that because you don't have the exact location. But as for your buckthorn removal, invasive removal, as long as you don't get into the wetland, into the stream, into where the pond is,
Yes.
which isn't a pond anymore, but
Yeah.
maybe again,
Yeah, it might be again, yeah.
start,
Okay,
all right?
great.
And when you get your plans a little more finalized, you put stakes in the ground for it, come see us again and we'll do a site visit, look at your whole layout and
Okay,
voice opinions.
Okay.
All
Great.
right?
sounds good. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
And talk to me about pasturing.
Okay.
Do you want to keep a copy of or?
I'm gonna keep.
Okay, Solo would have fun over there.
Oh, yeah.
Where's your store gonna be?
In the first building,
Yeah,
closer to the road.
Okay.
The proposed drawing here is 40 feet from the road, but I think we want it a little further in.
Mhm.
And-
That's gonna be a zoning thing.
Yes, we have to figure out, we're allowed to have like a farm store, but we have to figure out like there's some.
Yeah.
Some things that we,
Farm store only, I think.
farm store, yeah.
Yeah, you might talk to Jackie about that,
Jackie.
process with horses across the street.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I might, yeah.
So David, can I ask you a question?
David,
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so if, I think this is fine, but this would be considered new agriculture, right? If it hasn't been farmed in. Long time.
Let me add first, can you guys see my hand raised on the screen?
No,
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right,
Dark.
because I was, excuse me.
Left corner.
dealing with
oh, there
allergies.
it is. Okay.
I was hoping to weigh in and trying to be helpful here. If you allow me to share my screen for 1 second, there's a really helpful document that the project proponents might want to try to fish off of the internet. I pulled it
I'm
up.
not sure whether we can share anymore
Oh, shoot.
after we
Okay,
had,
well-
we had the Zoom bomb.
I think we've. been
If they
able-
are relatively,
okay.
if you guys are relatively new to dealing with wetland regulations as they relate to agriculture, there are all sorts of exemptions. There are certain things that aren't exempt, but there's a very good kind of guidebook that explains all this stuff in detail that you can find on the Massachusetts DEP website, Department of Environmental Protection website, and it's called, if you want to take a note,
Yes.
it is called Farming in Wetland Resource Areas. And it goes into all sorts of detail about the agricultural exemptions with respect to the Wetlands Protection Act. I concur with Sally, and I'll get back to you in a second, Lisa. I concur with Sally that if in the best interest of the property owners and the Conservation Commission, if they have plans for doing all sorts of different types of farm activities on the property, it would behoove them to have a delineation done, professional delineation, and submit an RDA to the commission, getting confirmation of the resource area boundaries, and then come up with a wish list of all the different farming activities you guys want to do and present them as you're interested in doing them to the commission, and try to figure out which ones are exempt and which ones aren't, just so that you're not getting into trouble and the commission's not wondering what you guys are doing. It would be the best way to kind of build a partnership with the Conservation Commission and not have to worry about getting in trouble. And then they don't have to worry about what you guys are doing. So the regulations, excuse me, the exemptions are very, very generous when it comes to agriculture. I'll just say that. So
I think we
Sorry,
have
Lisa.
a document that's like that the ag committee found for us also.
We might have.
Yeah, and there did seem to be like a lot of exemptions.
Yeah, one of them is that the initial reaction was, when I spoke with the planning, the building inspector office, was that we couldn't build a barn or an accessory building before a house. But one of the exceptions is a farm that we can
Right.
work, and the planning already approved us for building an accessory building before our house.
Right.
So that's one thing that, it is on the one of the sections that they have shared with us.
Yes.
So we just need to come here for the other, the conservation part.
All right. So we got a little
Lisa,
work to do.
Yep.
you had a question.
No, my question was if it's new agriculture, but I mean, I'll look at the book and see. It's new
Yeah, so excuse me. If a farm area has been, or they call it land and agricultural use, that's the regulatory term. If it's been fallow for more than 5 years, then the exemptions go away. That's what
Yeah.
the regulations say.
So
So
this
if they
is,
go away and you want to resurrect the agriculture, then it's called quote unquote new agriculture. And there are special allowances for that too,
Mhm.
under what are called the limited project provisions, which are a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, it's definitely been, well, it's been mowed, but I don't know if that qualifies.
The devil's in the details. need to drill down a little bit more, but I mean, my personal impression is that if it's been a piece of land that has been used for commercial agriculture, and those fields have been maintained so they don't get overgrown, then, you know, even if they weren't producing a commercial product every single year, but they're maintaining them so that they can keep them in agricultural use, I think the exemptions probably still apply, but we'd have to,
It's been-
the devil's in the
it's-
details.
It's been more than 50 years,
Oh, well, that's a different
It's
story.
been mowed,
but it's been mowed every year.
yeah,
Did they take hay off it or
I
anything,
was
or?
just gonna ask that.
I think so.
question.
I don't,
So when you say mow, they just brush hog it once a year?
yes, mhm, I
It-
think so.
It looks a little bit more refined than brush hogging.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion. We brush hog ours. It doesn't look like that.
Let's see.
I don't know.
Could they have cut it and mowed it once a year or picked up hay on it or,
I don't remember.
no, whatever.
I mean, it hasn't been a farm for more than 50 years. So,
Let's see.
Okay. Good luck.
thank you.
Okay, sure.
I think this may be Judy Roberts who's here. She's smiling, so I'm guessing that that's yes.
Judy, is that you, Judy?
It is. Can you hear me?
We
Yes.
can.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm at the my town library. My computer wasn't working well, so that's why I think it says public. Anyhow,
Uh-huh.
nice to meet everybody. So I had a quick conversation earlier with Sally. I own a home in Beechwood. And apparently the problem I have on the property is we have water damming. Beechwood at some point put in sewers. And at the time they did, they raised the height of the road so much that the water it doesn't absorb anywhere, it doesn't go anywhere. I have a depression on the property and it just fills and fills. I was up this past week and I put garbage bags on my legs and I waded into it, and it's at the deepest part, it's like 11 inches. The trees that are sitting in what is now a lake, they're dying. 2 of them hit my house, but luckily barely did damage. I just had 2 trees come down. One of them, the last one that came down, took the wires down also. And so I had to have public service come and disentangle the tree that was in the wires, so that they could go ahead and attach everything. So the trees are dying, I'm getting ground heaving there. And so along the road that was raised, the road goes down. As you follow the road down, it crosses the stream. And so what I was wondering, if it's possible, I mean, I would do it at my own expense. I would be following the road. There's a little depression in the ground, like kind of dig a ditch and maybe put in stones and plant any ground coverage that you think would, filter and put the water into the stream. It's not runoff water. It's just water that pools on the property because there's a depression there. And I literally have a lake, a huge lake. It runs over my driveway, it runs over my neighbor's driveway, and it has no place, it can't absorb anywhere. It's got a driveway on either side, and it's got this road that's huge, much taller. So I did talk to an architect who told me that it's gonna cost between $12,000 and $14,000. That's not with even drawings. It's with like doing a survey but the water doesn't drain there. It just lands there and it doesn't go anywhere. It's the rainwater, and we've had so much rain and, I guess with the warm weather and the excess. So, with the ground heaving, it broke my pipes to the bathroom because the ground gets so wet and it freezes and it unfreezes. And then the trees are all dying on my property and falling down. So I was wondering, I spoke to Beechwood Association and they said as long as what I do doesn't negatively impact my neighbors, and I'd have to get their permission. One of the two neighbors have already said that if I put something under their driveway and rebuild it back up at my expense, that they're all right with it. We just don't know what to do. We're really distressed.
So is this all new? Is this just recently started happening after a road was raised? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
the road apparently went in years ago, the sewer system. We bought about 3 years ago. And the problem's it seems to be, I guess with the, environment and, the climate, it's getting worse. I mean, it's really bad now.
More and more beechwood. I mean, if you have a driveway on either side, more and more beechwood is going from pervious to impervious. So the water just doesn't have anywhere to go.
Well, there's nothing that's changed, in terms of impervious coverage in my area. There's a home behind me that had, I think it's the only one still in the Beechwood area that didn't have sewer. And when it changed hands about a year ago, they were forced to put in the sewer system. So they're no longer septic. But short of that, nothing's changed. My neighbor's house is my house. There's no beechwood behind my neighbor behind me.
But everything's getting wetter.
Oh, that's an understatement.
Yeah.
I mean,
in
it's
general.
I'm lakefront. I mean, no, I mean, I'm not literally lakefront, but.
No, we know what you meant.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I'm here and not there. I could show you pictures. It's out of control. It goes from my driveway, from the road, because it's dammed with the road. There's a slight incline from the back of my house. That's cute. I'm looking at the puppy. From the back of the house to where the road would be. So there would be some slight, the water would have some place to go, but there's no place to go. And it just builds up and up and up. Like I said, I had like almost a foot of water.
Wow.
And it goes from the length of my driveway all the way to my house. And it's, I don't know, the width of whatever it is between, and half my driveway is underwater.
Did this,
So it's gotten worse.
did this area drain itself before? Did it flow in one direction or the other, or has it always been a basin type thing and now it just
Well, I
can't
think
handle all
the
the water?
area's kind of eroded a little bit more, there might have been more dirt there. And over time, maybe it's eroded a little bit, so it's deeper. And then my understanding is before the sewer went in and they raised, the water just kind of seeped, where it would. Because from my house to the other side of the road, there's a slight incline. So when the road was the normal height, my guess is some water probably flowed that way. Like I
We'd
said,
like,
I'm a recent owner. I don't know if somebody wanted to do a site inspection. I'd
Yeah.
make myself available.
we would like to come look at it.
And I'd love for you to see it.
Best off when you're there, so we have an idea what your thoughts are.
I'd love to explain to you. I can be there on Thursday. I can be there on Monday. I can be there on next Tuesday. What works for you guys?
Patriots
what-
Day.
Drive up, but I'll drive up.
Monday's Patriots Day. Not that that matters, but it just is.
I have it all.
Oh,
If I could go.
Okay, yay.
Would Monday work?
I could do next Thursday. I can do this Thursday.
This Thursday, we can't advertise it in time, so it needs to be.
next Monday possibly.
I can do next Monday, definitely.
What time of day?
You tell
Afternoon?
me. I can be there. I get up at the break of dawn. You pick a time.
Afternoon.
Anytime for me.
2:30?
Sure.
That work?
Did you say
2:30?
2:30? 2:30?
2:33, somewhere in there.
Earlier is better because I have to turn around and go home afterwards, but whatever you-
2:30.
2:30.
Six maybe.
I could have lost it.
6 Maple.
Yeah.
Do you need the exact address?
Six
No,
Maple?
No,
Well-
21 Beechwood.
Oh,
pardon?
Oh,
Why do I have 6 Maple?
I don't know.
well, I'm glad we asked.
yeah.
I'm glad we mentioned it.
How did I get
21
6
Beechwood.
Maple?
I wonder why I drive around in circles.
21 Beechwood?
Would you like my cell phone number or should I not give it on the?
I wouldn't give it on them. You can
Okay,
call
so-
Sally with it, but
Okay, I didn't know who was Sally. Sally, I'll reach out to you. Yeah. And I'll leave
It's
it on
best,
your,
it's best email.
okay, I'll email it to you. That way you'll have it in case you want to reach me if there's something that changes.
All right,
thank you.
and you'll be there, so you
Beechwood, huh?
can tell us what your thoughts are, and
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes, I'd like to
and
explain that
we'll
to
be
you
able to
guys.
see we'll be able to see the lay of the land, so to speak.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
See you, Monday at 2:30.
So can I ask you one question? If I mentioned to Sally, I don't know that I mentioned it earlier in this conversation. So I had spoken to an engineer and I got an astronomical amount of money just to, I think I told you. Would
Yes.
I definitely be needing an engineer in order to do this? Or you'd be able to look at it and give me a heads up, thumbs down? If it's not running water and I don't need a survey, you'll see it, you'll let me know.
Yeah, let's look at it first, and we'll,
Okay,
if it's 10 feet, if it's 20 feet, if it's 30 feet, now we're starting to talk some serious digging. So let's see where it's got to go.
it's probably, yeah.
Under the driveway is probably not a big deal at all, but
Mhm.
it's between there and it's the rest of the distance. So let's see what's there. Let's see what trees are falling down or dropping or breaking or uprooting, whatever they're doing.
Okay,
We'll have a whole conversation on this.
okay, so
Okay.
so we've got April 15th at 2:30.
Yes.
April 15th, okay. Wonderful, I'll see you guys then.
Thank you.
I appreciate your addressing this.
Okay, we did
I'm gonna
that.
mute.
Thank you. Public hearing for 104 Lincoln Road, that's the porch and patio. Come on up. Did you have a meeting with the selectmen yet? Or is that coming up?
Selectmen is in May, planning
May
board is
2nd?
next week.
Okay. I have something on my calendar and I didn't know if I had the wrong one.
Oh, no, I think it's May 2nd,
Yeah.
something like that. Okay, so Shannon Bonesma, White Engineering. In April of last year, you issued an order of conditions for some work on this property at 104 Interlaken Road. We had a garage, some work, a new dock, some work on the shoreline and plantings, a new bridge. So in this area here,
Shannon, where are we here? I'm confused.
104 Interlaken Road,
Yeah, just, can you,
RJ
RJ McDonald's.
Place.
oh, McDonald, yeah, okay, I know where we are now.
So we have approved a 54 square foot outdoor kitchen with a roof in this area and then a patio extending from that stone set in sand was the patio, so it was pervious. What they would like to do is instead of doing the patio area, do a screen porch and then do a patio extending off of the screen porch. So the roof area is going to increase, but it's in the same location And the patio is still no closer to the lake than the existing structures and roof lines. Also, we had talked about plantings, and under the planning board approval for LPOD, we agreed to 75% native vegetation in the LPOD area, 150 feet from the lake. So we have 75% of native non-lawn vegetation in that area, which far exceeds our impervious areas on site.
And it covers the increase in impervious?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yep. The stormwater, the roof is going to still slope to the rear away from the lake. It'll go into the drip line, and there's adequate storage in there to meet our numbers.
Could you describe this construction again? There's gonna be a roof that pitches to the back.
Yes.
The floor, is that still,
The,
is it gonna be a concrete floor or is it gonna be a stone patio floor? If there's gonna be a kitchen there, it's gotta be something.
well, the kitchen area is still going to be in the screen porch, and that's on a frost wall. And then the remaining deck area of the screen porch is going to be on helical piers. So it's still that like 54 square feet that's on frost wall. And then the patio will be stone set and sand.
Refresh my memory. Did we approve the species list previously? And we approved burning bushes? We might have, I don't know, but
I don't recall that.
yeah, because we don't usually.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
No.
Well, this says burning bushes.
Um,
Am I looking at the right thing?
You should look, even if you approved it, you can't buy it.
Can't find it.
You
They don't
can't
sell
buy
it.
them. They're on the no grow.
It's on this plan.
yeah, where is,
Maybe it's removal.
that's one, yes, that's just labeling those as burning bushes. That's a clump of burning bushes there. And those would be,
Existing?
it's
Oh, those are-
existing.
Those are coming out.
Yeah, those are coming out. Revegetation plan for the shoreline.
Great, thank you.
How wide is that area that you're planting along the shore? Ballpark.
Well, it's close to 50 feet.
That'll be native.
What's the square footage of the kitchen area?
The kitchen area is 54 square feet. The screen porch is 290 square feet. And then the patio will be an additional 350 square feet.
So it'll be 344 square feet of impervious. And then the patio itself.
290 square feet of impervious of the roof for the screen porch and the kitchen, which is part of the screen porch.
Oh, it's in, the 34 is inside.
Yes,
Okay,
54.
thank you. That's one side. There's another side. There are two projects here.
Nope, that's it.
Oh, one.
That's it. Under the original approval, we have an addition on the north side of the house. The two items were the screen porch and the patio.
Comments?
And we are willing to do a deed restriction.
Patio?
On the screen porch.
Any thoughts?
What did 75% plantings mean? I didn't understand that.
The planning board asked that within the LPOD, 150 feet to the lake, that we have 75% of native plantings, that area be covered with 75% of native plantings,
Okay,
not counting the house and lawn area. So that's these areas here and these areas here and the shoreline.
It's not
Be
gonna-
100% within 100 feet.
And is there a species list for those plantings?
Yes, that was included in the original.
The original.
So if it was, original plan was for an open outdoor kitchen on a pad,
It had a roof
had a roof.
and a frost wall foundation.
And so are we, with this, when you're essentially enclosing that in now a screen porch, I mean, I guess my question is, you sort of got a kitchen which still feels like an indoor room of some level, but you've encased it now in a porch. Is the deed restriction just always going to keep it as essentially an outdoor kitchen enclosed in a screen porch, rather than someone coming along and say, oh, but this is a kitchen?
Well, I think the deed restriction will say that the screen porch can never be converted into enclosed living area.
Okay.
So it's more or less an exterior kitchen right now, but it will not be
But it'll have a roof over it.
an interior kitchen.
Right.
All right, make a motion. Close the hearing.
Make a motion to close the public hearing for 104 Interlaken.
Second that?
All in favor? Aye.
And then I'd make a motion to approve the amended order of condition with the deed restriction and the plantings from the planning board.
Second that?
All in favor again?
Wonderful.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Rattlesnake Mountain Road.
Yes, sir.
You have a stormwater permit for it.
We filed a stormwater permit application.
Yep.
At the request of the commission.
Yes.
And I had asked David to take a look at it also.
All right, so the next question is the area of clearing.
It exceeds 10,000. I don't have an exact number, and I think it's closer to 12. It's less than what was approved on our plan, but it does exceed 10,000. Won't deny that.
We had some concerns about where the clearing ended, which seemed to be, and where the silt fence are placed, which seems to be 20 feet closer to the resource area than it was supposed to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
This is in the area where the septic field is going to be, downhill close to the next driveway.
So the clearing that we're discussing, the area that exceeded clearing in the area of the leaching field, not of the house clearing, is that correct?
I think
Yes.
The location of the silt fence is.
the location of the silt fence was in the leaching area. David, do you want to weigh in
Yeah,
on that?
I think the location of the S&E controls, Rob, near where the house was approved, look like they're more or less where they're supposed to be.
Right.
The order of conditions on page 3 indicates that the nearest distance from the proposed or from the approved work to the resource area boundary is 60 feet. And if you look at, excuse me, where in the general area of the leach field, if you look at where the siltation and erosion controls are in relationship to wetland flag number 3, it's, we measured it, Lisa, what was it, like 20 feet?
40 feet.
20 feet.
Yeah.
And then it was 40 feet to the clearing. So the clearing in that location, at least, is about 20 feet closer to the BVW than it's supposed to be. We were there 2 weeks ago yesterday. And that was right after we had a big rain event on the Saturday of that weekend. And things look like they actually held up pretty well. So that was good to see. I was a bit confused about the sedimentation and erosion controls. It's like, I haven't seen that kind of setup before where you have silt fence on either side of a straw wattle. The up gradient, and I don't know if this is, I couldn't figure this out from looking at the detail on your site plan as to whether or not either of those silt fences were supposed to be entrenched. Typically, silt fences are entrenched, but the up gradient one is not entrenched at all. There's a straw wattle sandwich between them that's weighted down and seems to be effective. And then the silt fence on the down gradient side, I don't believe is entrenched in either. Again, didn't see any major problems, but it's not the kind of S&E control setup I've seen before. And I don't know, maybe you could provide some clarification on what that detail on your plan was.
The downhill silt fence, David, should have been trenched.
Okay.
So there's an issue there.
Yeah. Where the stream, I don't know if you recall, there's an intermittent, actually, it's not an intermittent stream. It's not a jurisdictional stream at all. There's a roadside drainage ditch on the northern side of Rattlesnake Mountain Road that at some point goes underneath the road via a culvert and dumps onto the property. And there's a swale that's non-jurisdictional there that ultimately dumps into that BBW. That's carved its way, unsurprisingly, underneath the S&E control array where it meets that. Again, I'm not sure there's much you can do about that. I'm not sure if the silt fence really needs to be there crossing that channel at all. Maybe it should be opened up in that area and let just the flow go through there.
Okay.
But yeah, given the amount of rain that we've had, we've had a couple of big storms since the site was cleared and stumped and grubbed. It looks pretty good, actually. It's just the bigger concern is the amount of clearing in the buffer zone down by the leach field.
So we wanted to ask for that silt fence to be moved to where it was supposed to be.
We can easily do that.
Either moved or put in an additional
We'll put in
one,
another one. Yeah.
whichever
Yeah,
seems simpler.
Certainly, if we've cleared to the S&E control, then we don't want to remove the S&E control. We'll just put another one closer up
Yeah, that's fine.
and let the vegetation reestablish once we get some weather.
Yeah,
Okay.
my sense, Rob, was that, excuse me, it looked like, and maybe this was the intent, but it looked like there was an access way cleared from the house clearing down to the leach field clearing that avoided having to put heavy equipment up and down Rattlesnake Mountain Road. So they could just get from point A to point B through that section of woods. And that seems to be why the silt fence might have ended up where it did.
Could be. I'll ask. My contractor's usually very, very good. It's a little bit surprising. I'll have to ask him.
And I had a question on the stormwater management. Just in terms of, there were no calculations. We used to seeing some calculations.
If you want HydroCAD calculations, we can provide them, but it's going to be premature because there's no house.
So are the erosion controls staying there everything's staying there until?
Until we go out and look and it's stabilized, we contact you to come out and take a look. And if you or David and everyone agrees that the site is stabilized, then we'll remove them or take other actions that the
So
commission
then
wants.
you would do another stormwater plan when there's a house going in?
I have to say your stormwater permit application is a little bit confusing. I can understand my interpretation of it, and I think it might be erroneous, is that if there's clearing in excess of 10,000 square feet, that no other application is required, and I can see situations where that might be. But in the situation where we filed a full notice of intent to make the applicant then go again and file a stormwater permit,
It's usually coincidental.
they seem redundant.
It is,
So
but
the question.
the reason.
So the question is, did we not discuss stormwater during the notice of intent process?
Let me tell you why there's a stormwater and why sometimes it's coincidental, which it would have been in this case, and sometimes it's not.
Right, sometimes I could see,
Because if it's non-jurisdictional
right,
and it's a clearing of over 10,000 square feet, it gives the commission a chance to look at things that may have erosion issues, but not wetland issues.
completely agree with you, Sally, and
Okay.
I interpret it as that would be the application. But in the situation where we're already filing a notice, wouldn't that same process occur under the provisions of the notice of intent? Because.
Yes and no. So we've had, I mean, we've had, like, for instance, I don't know. Anyway, Shannon, if Shannon were still here, she would tell you that they filed both at the same time, coincidentally.
So if I might, I don't mean to barge in here, but so Rob, I think in this particular situation, what you applied for through your notice of intent was construction of a single family house and a leach field. That's exempt from the stormwater management standards under the act.
Correct.
But it's not under the town bylaw. So,
No.
right. So in this case, you're free from stormwater under the notice of intent process, but because the town has more stringent guidelines, that's where it kicks in.
Totally understand the administrative aspects of it. I guess I'm looking at more of, let's just leave it at that. I'm not being argumentative, and it really doesn't matter. So the question now becomes, do you want us to run HydroCAD calculations on the work that's been done? Or do you want us to make an assumption of, in our notice of intent, I think we said there'd be a 5,000 square foot house. We can make an assumption that there's a house of that scale on the property and run calculations to that if you like. I can tell you what the result will be, but I'm happy to run the calculations too.
Tell me what the result.
They're going to be minimal, de minimis.
I think having the figures is probably good, even if it's an estimate.
Okay.
So to be clear, we'll make the assumption that the house that's going in is what was outlined in the NOI. And we'll provide HydroCAD calculations as one. Number two is we will make an adjustment to the S&E control that's in the field to bring it 20 feet closer to the proposed leaching field. Leave the existing ones in place as belts and suspenders.
Mhm.
And everything else stays as is, allowing the vegetation to establish itself.
That works.
Does that work? Okay.
Thank you.
So you want to bring this, put this on the agenda for your next meeting?
Yes. It'll just carry through.
That's cool. When is that meeting?
The 20 was 9th, 9 and 14 is 23.
Okay.
Has the property been sold again?
Don owns it. Don Barnard owns it. I don't think it's sold. No, it's just sitting there.
So its plans haven't changed or?
No, Don owns it. It's just, I mean, he's gonna sell it, I think. I mean, I don't really know, but it's just sort of sitting there at the moment.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful evening.
True.
Okay. Sure. Oh, as an assistant, or maybe, maybe you're her assistant now, huh?
The rumors of your retirement were premature, apparently.
Probably got that.
Pull a chair up or sit there wherever you want, wherever you're comfortable. Sidewalks, they started those just down the road.
Yeah.
Like actually going quite quickly.
This is the, sorry, it's the FEMA map and also the NHGASB rare wildlife species and habitats. And also this is the no-take prohibited letter from Lisa.
DOT. Good man.
Red line intersection goes down to here, which is the railroad tracks here over this bridge just before, and that's the beginning of Goodrich Street.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's, the shovels are well in the ground.
Yes,
It's almost finished.
moving right along too. I'm surprised.
Base.
No, actually, there was a issue with the contractor's schedule. So they wanted to start it and they asked us if they can just start installing some erosion controls and start from north and south end, which are not within any resource area, it's buffer. So when I told them that they can start if there's any issue, but do not do any work within any resource or its buffer.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah, so because of their schedule, so yeah. And I emailed to Sally as well, so just to let her know that contractor is pushing us hard. They wanted to do some kind of.
You may be our new hero, you know. You're a new hero.
Yeah. But it's not a good news, so I didn't. That is totally a different department. We just deal with highway and bridges.
Yeah.
And they deal with rail and transit.
Yeah.
That's a totally different.
Yeah.
So, and Scott Conti is your contact if you need any more information, and he will be
Cool.
able.
Thank you.
Yeah,
David,
but they are aware of
Does
this.
David know this?
David
No,
will convey this to you. All right,
Okay.
well, so
Do you see it?
Yeah.
I have no problems with the sidewalks. They're going along fine. They haven't screwed up traffic any more than it does get screwed up in Stockbridge. I mean.
Yeah, these are just the existing sidewalks. They just want
Yeah.
to reconstruct it with concrete sidewalks, so.
We're fine with
So
that.
there will be another project, and you already might have that RDA for 1 or 2. There should be another RDA. That will be new sidewalks along sector.
oh, yes, yeah,
But it will be next time on agenda, I hope.
yeah. Oh, where are you? Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Got it. So it will be on the agenda for next meeting?
Yes. Yep.
How thick is the concrete? Is it a 2x4? The thickness of the walk,
4 inches.
2x4?
The concrete,
Yep.
the concrete thickness will be 4 inches and 8 inches of base. The total, is about 1.
Yep.
All right. Motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry I had to wait so long. Actually, we're early.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
So we need to sign anything for them or we'll,
No, not for them. That'll be the next meeting.
okay.
The only thing we have to sign is Joe's.
All right, you're good.
Anything else?
No, I think we're all set.
Okay,
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Good evening.
you.
So what's the next RDA they have? What's that all about? The same project?
More sidewalks. On Route 102.
Down by the dump or?
Read it.
Go ahead and read.
David, we're gonna read you what
Mayor sent.
the questions down the bottom.
Okay.
So what do you want read?
Sure, read that.
So it says, Scott, do you know who is responsible for any cleanup of old rail ties on the old Housatonic Railroad line now owned by the Rail Division? And the response is from Scott Conti at DOT to Mayor. It says Mass DOT is working on track upgrades on the Housatonic Railroad, and our contractors have cleaned up, removed ties and legacy ties along that right of way, including Stockbridge. Stockbridge has divided very old legacy tie pieces along the right of way, not easily identified and in questionable wetland boundaries. Mass DOT, environmental and legal are aware of this longstanding complaint and is under review along with Housatonic Railroad. I'm not directly connected to these discussions.
Longstanding complaint.
Yeah, at least they heard us.
So that's the name of that person responded
Is Scott Conti, project manager, Mass DOT Rail and Transit Division in Boston.
And coincidentally, we have a yearly operating plan from Tech Associates, which I sent to them saying, okay, so we're going to fix this.
Yeah, so is there no timeline given for resolution?
No.
No, but I said I expected that a member of the commission would want to ride the railway. So we'll get to see whether in fact they have gotten rid of, because I don't know, Chuck, if you're,
I have some, I think I found some more pictures that also, that will show more and more, so some more.
so we don't have to spend, what is it, 200, what was it they told us we were?
$200 or $300 an hour for a full day, no one of the half day stuff.
For flagman.
Yeah. So if we can, in coincident with this yearly operating request, get a ride on the railway, we'll be able to look at it without having to spend $1,000.
Okay, how does that work? Do they only allow one representative of the commission, or can anyone go?
Yeah, we can fit, it's a big pickup truck. Well, I think there's room for 3 passengers.
I wonder, it might be, since this thing has still not been resolved, it might be helpful for me to see this firsthand, because I haven't seen any of these ties.
Perfect.
And just kind of QA, where they're in wetlands and where they're not, maybe mark up a map, have a map ready to go when I go out there.
Great.
Sounds good.
All right, well, we get dates available.
The key to this is sooner versus later. You don't want to wait until after all the foliage comes out. As we found out the hard way last year.
Yeah, it would be easier before leaf out.
Yeah, because you did it early May.
Yeah, the early May was, oh my God, and then went back after everything popped, it was hard to find.
But they had come and asked for it, right? They had come here and request. They haven't done that yet, have they?
They have.
Oh, they have. Great.
Yeah, just let me know when you set it up, and I'll try to be there.
Started in Housatonic.
Yes. Starts in Housatonic, which is right on the Stockbridge line, and ends up at the paper plant, which again is right on the Stockbridge line.
Okay.
They do a U-turn, bring you back, or do you have to paddle down the river?
Well, they just take that pickup truck, just they lift up the wheels and drive down the road.
Oh, all right. Okay. To sign, Joe's paperwork. And Southfield Road for,
Did you find the jurisdictional to sign off for them?
yes. What did I do with it? Is it in the box?
It was not in the box.
Hang on, wait, no, never know. It might be our lucky day. Had it yesterday or the day before.
Aha. Yay. So we're just gonna do a C, right? We decided
Yeah.
it was good?
Yeah.
Okay. And you just have to sign.
Okay, so that one's done. Upcoming another business, Eversource, haven't heard anything back from them.
No, we got a yearly operating plan from Eversource, and I tried to contact them to say we would like someone to come in and talk about what they plan to do and how they plan to do it. And the number that was included in the yearly operating plan was not one that you could contact them by. You had to have some access code in order to actually leave a message or anything else. And so since we did not have an access code, we were not provided an access code. I called the number on the website for Eversource and talked to somebody in customer service and said, I would like to talk to Mr. Hayes, and I would like him to know that the Conservation Commission would like someone representing your company to come in and talk to us. And he said, oh, yes, I will let him know right away. Well, that's 2 weeks ago and we have heard nothing, needless to say. So I intend to send a letter to Mr. Hayes saying, hey, buddy, you know, this was not cool. And you need to send a representative in to talk to us about what you're going to do.
So is this Eversource or National Grid?
Eversource.
They aren't actually in Stockbridge.
I don't know. They sent us the yearly operating plan and he
because
can say to
we're-
us, we do not have anything in Stockbridge. And if so, why did you send us this yearly operating
Bordering
plan?
town.
Huh?
We're a bordering town.
Yeah.
It's in the lead.
Saying, I was just, I mean, seriously frustrated that they send you this number to call
And then you can't get through.
and then you can't get through.
And if you got through, we could have had this conversation.
We could have had that conversation saying we're not actually doing any work in Stockbridge. Thank you very much. And I would say, fine, then you don't have to send in a representative.
Right.
Anyway,
I looked at that whole thing. I got it last. That's a pretty intense piece of,
yeah, I mean, they're
Paperwork.
like, we can do whatever we want and, you know, you guys are out of luck, pretty much is what they said. Which is, you know, essentially true, but nevertheless, it was just not the way you should approach. It was not,
Friendly or neighborly.
no, friendly or neighborly or cooperatively or any of those things.
Yeah, it was the.
Taking the trees
all
down.
right, so we still got to hear about the spraying port.
Around out here.
Have they set up a date to come in or talk?
No, we just got the thing.
Agricultural Forestry Commission, you've asked about this. I never make it through.
First Monday of the month. So for Arbor Day, if anyone is interested, we're doing a tree seedling giveaway. Austin Riggs Green Team, Agricultural Forestry Commission, and students from Monument Mountain Horticultural Program grew seedlings.
What kind of seedlings?
Black walnut, witch hazel, hazelnut, and then that's from Riggs, and the students, I'm not sure what they're growing.
Do any of those do well in the
Oh, yeah,
wet?
well, any of the witch hazel will do okay, hazelnut will do okay, yeah. It'll be 10 to 3, noon to 3 at the corner of Elm and Main on Arbor Day. So if you want some free seedlings, come down,
And Arbor Day is,
April 26th.
Okay.
Good. Native species.
Railroad,
native
we're still dealing with the
species. Yes.
railroad, Wheatley Drive, we've done all that. Rattlesnake Mountain Road, Wheatley Drive. Oh, we didn't do Wheatley Drive.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything back from them.
Maybe I'll take a ride down
$3
through
Who's
on it.
this?
Wheatley Drive.
Oh, wait, so if we haven't did anything back, we need to do something here. We've been.
You were gonna
reaching-
coordinate with the building department on that one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
did that happen?
No,
No,
I mean, he was in there the other day too, and I forgot all about it. This week,
Okay.
this week.
What do you guys just decide on?
I will get a hold of somebody from Wheatley Drive and ask them why they haven't responded.
because they don't want to. It's pretty simple. They just don't want to.
Any other business
No.
besides Joe's thing? Yes, we did.
Yes. Joe, do you want it tonight?
Please.
Okay, my copy.
All right, so I make the motion to close the public hearing?
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
All right.
Aye. Thank you, David.
Thank you, David.